Hello there, guys. My name's Swifty,
My name's Impulse.
and we are here to bring you episode 2 of All Out Gaming. We are sorry that we didn't get another episode like this out. Been pretty busy the last 3 or 4 weeks, but whatever. Today we want to add on to All Out Gaming by not just bringing about one game, but we want to just talk some more gaming with you guys. So we're gonna start out with our main topic, though. Really interesting one. A lot of you guys know about this, and it is
DayZ!
Not just DayZ, but the DayZ standalone that is coming out. Still to be announced, unfortunately. Still probably gonna start out on PC. We'll have to wait and see how it turns out on console. But I'm gonna let Impulse here tell you guys a little bit about DayZ. Give you guys some background if you don't already know what it is, but we'll give a slight minute background. Wow, I'm gonna go fix our fire while he does that.
Alright, gamer fans. So as you know, DayZ first started off as a mod, and it wasn't really that big at first when Hall created it. And then eventually it just started becoming more and more popular as more and more people started playing it. Until eventually Hall decided to make a standalone version for the PC port only. It was thought that he would make console ports as well, but unfortunately it's just for PC, which I don't mind anyways, because I'm mostly a PC gamer at the current moment anyways. But anyways, what this standalone does is much more than what the mod could ever do, because the mod goes off of the Armored 2's client Battle Eye. And so pretty much Hull is restricted with the mod of what he could do, because he can't really go into the client and change it the way it needs to be changed. Because DayZ, what he wants to do with it is he wants to add more. He wants to add more buildings, he wants to add more items, he wants to make the world more realistic, and so he created this download version. So the first thing that's different about this is, of course, the environment. The environment itself will, of course, add more buildings. More like buildings that you can go on into. More varied buildings. There'll be more warehouses, more exploration. The map will be bigger too, which is awesome. Because I've pretty much explored all of Chernarus in the mod by flying / crashing helicopters along the way. Or just ramming jeeps into rocks and trees, going off-roading. That's always the fun part.
My favorite DayZ memory was the one dude who showed me some ATVs, and then he died, and then I died, and then I respawned and died by the same people. I was like,
I remember when I first got on there with you, and I sucked balls.
Yeah, it was not good. Zombies were actually killing me, and good times.
But in this standalone version, it's gonna be much more smoother. Like the zombies, the AI, they won't be so glitchy. They won't be like far off in the distance, and the next one won't be in your face. You'll be like, whoa, and shooting everywhere and all that.
And one thing I'm really excited about this game is, this game obviously, since DayZ never really was an official mod, this is the groundbreaking thing with it. It always was being, nothing. It was never that perfect game, and I understand that no game's gonna be perfect, but this game was always like it's missing something. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm really excited about with the new DayZ is. It's a zombie game. It's a zombie game.
Not just a normal zombie game, though.
Exactly.
It's more like real-life situation. What would happen if you were actually put in this situation?
Exactly.
You would starve. You would need to scavenge.
Unfortunately, DayZ turned into more of a player versus player kind of thing, and it made the game...
It just plainly sucked.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't a bad mechanically game.
No, the concepts weren't that bad
Loot was too easy to find. It was almost like too easy, and then it just turned to a complete gun war. So I believe that DayZ... I believe they'll be able to pull it off, but not just pull off your shoot 'em up zombie game, but survival. You're talking about a survival game, a zombie game. No matter what these days, like really.
And it's also player versus player.
Exactly, and you make a big open world. You make a zombie game. You make kind of that horror kind of feel, like I'm gonna die if this doesn't happen. And that's what I'm really excited about, because there always was that aspect, like you're hiding from people or you're hiding from zombies, and you're like, I'm one bite away or I'm one shot away from being dead. It's very intense. It does get the blood flowing. And that's one thing that's really exciting with me, is that it's all DayZ, it's all zombies, it's all PvP, and it's all the excitement.
I was actually watching a video earlier of the standalone, the latest dev diary with the teaser.
I watched a few of those.
And I noticed that you actually have bayonets now. Like
Really?
knives on the end of the guns. He had, I believe, an M16 or M14, I couldn't tell really. And I just noticed that there was a knife at the end. I was like, you have bayonet, so when you run out of ammo, the gun is still a useful weapon.
Yeah, you don't have to go drop it off.
Mm-hmm.
And one cool thing is, I do believe that, one of the cool things was, in DayZ you had your big areas, but I think honestly one thing that they should do in this new, I'm not 100% sure if they're going to do this. One thing was cool was you're able to open things now. You're able to open refrigerators, cupboards. You're able to go hide in those things.
Especially
under
stuff
tables.
hiding in cars too, like
Exactly.
destroyed ones. There'll be cans of food or clothes.
Yeah,
which
exactly.
is also a good thing. The clothes are now more varied. There'll be more slots opened in inventory. You'll be able to carry more with different types of clothing.
It'll be a lot.
You even have a bag yourself.
Yeah, it'll be a lot more solid game, because Arma 2 is a great tactical strategic game.
But that's what it is, and DayZ.
And DayZ used it well.
Mm-hmm.
For what they had, I believe that they used it well.
But it wasn't what Hall really wanted to go. He wanted to do more with it than what it could be.
Here's what we gotta look at is, it's still not his game. Until he makes a standalone, it's not his game. And that's the cool thing about it. He can make the controls how he wants. He can do, what he wants. He can switch, do things that he actually wants. And that's the exciting thing about this is, we had kind of these shitty controls, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We had these awful controls, and now they can be allergies. The cool thing about it is, he can do what he wants. He can make the controls better, because I know that a lot of people really did honestly complain about the controls and, how difficult it was to pick up gear, for example. Like, you gotta push G, or you gotta right click, or you gotta, to switch your damn weapon, you
especially
flip
since
the thing and then click it instead of
it's
just,
always going too. It's never stopping.
Exactly. It's just not fluid. Like, one really good example is the new GTA, how you can flip to a gun and the gameplay slowly kind of slows down for you, because it makes it more fluid.
Mm-hmm.
Because people want a fluid gameplay where they're not going to have to click up, switch a gun, and risk being killed. Like, when you're sitting there,
which happens so much.
Yeah, when you're sitting there and you're in your gear or anything, it's very inconvenient. First of all, because you're sitting there and you're all in the open, you can still get killed or attacked. Whether it may be by player or zombie, you still are completely vulnerable. And the new exciting thing with this is really that things like that, you can add hotkeys, you can add these things possibly. And that's what I'm excited about too, is the controls will be a lot more user-friendly and will make the game that much funner. Because, it's like, I don't know, it's like playing a weird game and saying, that game was fun, but I dislike the controls. And little things like that, they do get to people, whether you believe it or not. And that's one cool thing, is that this is going to be his game. He can do what he wants.
The one thing I'm actually wondering about is if I'll feature, like in the mod does, heroes or bandits. Because those are custom made within the mod.
Yeah, I actually think he'll take it farther than that.
I'm sure he will. Maybe. Let me actually double check that.
See, what I think he's going to do is I think he's going to keep the hero and bandit, but I think he's going to add more into that. So I believe that you're going to either be a hero or bandit, but you can also possibly, you can have maybe he'll have a rank or something like that, or I'm not really sure. I mean, it's going to be a very unique game. Mm-hmm. Even just installing it on your computer, getting on it, it's going to be unique. It's not going to be, you're going to log in, choose your different server, but it's going to be that huge open world. is what I'm really excited about. You install this game, and you got a huge open world, and that's why I'm also very excited for GTA 5. Is you got a massive world to play with. That's gameplay that gives you a reason to play the game. I mean, all these other games, I mean, you play the same maps over and over again, you eventually get bored. And if the game comes out with a new map or a new DLC or whatever may come out with that's new as an addition to that game, it may not be fun. Or you may be that one person that's like, hey, I'm not a big fan of DLC. I don't download DLC. Like myself, I know I don't download DLC. I'm terrible at it. I would rather go just buy a new game. Because I know me. Like, I get bored of that game. But the cool thing about it is if I know I haven't been there, it's going to make me play the game.
Especially since the world's changing all the time.
Exactly.
Because it's always there. But
exactly.
The one question I have is, what do you think about now that it no longer has a release window because of the architecture and whatnot? They're waiting to still fine-tune the infrastructure, the network infrastructure bubble.
See, I think what they need to do is, on answering that question, I think what they need to do is solidify everything, make sure everything's at least 85, 90%, and then what they should honestly do is throw out a beta.
But what I'm asking is, do you think that's the right move that they're making?
Yes. Network's a big deal, especially when it comes to gaming, because people are like, well, I have, on average, let's say you have a 250 ping, and let's say, you know what, alright guys, we're going to make 30 to 40 servers, you max it out at 32 or 64, however much, that server can hold, and you say, hey, we're going to make 30 to 40 or 40 to 50, however many you want, and we're going to make it for those lower ping players, 250, 300, 400 on average, you know what I mean? Those people that aren't able to get that want our game and still want to play it online. But here's what's going to happen. We're going to have to, reduce this, and this, taking it away from the game, but at the same time, you still provide the game. You know what I mean? That's almost, if you want a solid base, I believe, if you want a solid base and you make servers, what you want to do is, you want everyone to be able to play the game. You want everyone to be able to enjoy the game. And that's, the problem with some things. Like, I'll go and play Counter-Strike, and if my internet's being terrible, I'll get kicked out of every game because my ping's over, 110.
The VAC as well.
Yeah, just the restrictions. I believe that, if they're like, alright, well, you have really good pings, so we're going to throw you in here, like a fund. Even if they have, like, oh, well, find me a server. I don't really care if it's hardcore, whatever, or you pick. Well, what mode do you play? I play normal. Okay, I will throw you in the best server possible. That would be a good idea as well, instead of picking like you would normally.
Yes, I would do.
But definitely adding that console in there is a key as well, I believe, because a lot of people do use that console for,
modding or whatever.
Yeah, whatever they need to use it for. Connecting to servers makes it a lot easier. I believe if they were going to do anything, I believe that an automatic search and alongside with that console allowing you to connect to servers is going to be the best idea.
And the interesting thing about the console is even the admins can use it to add bases or do whatever they want with it. It's almost like Forge off of Halo with the console.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing. And the only reason why I ask you that is because what this reminds me of happening is the delay and after delay after delay is BioShock Infinite, and also the most popular game that everyone knows is Half-Life 2.
Yeah.
Because Valve actually took their time. Irrational Games took the time with the game to actually make it good, to make those little bits infrastructure, or make sure the gameplay actually fit, or pieces, went well smoothly to make a great game.
Exactly, and you can look at that any console PC game. You look at a Counter-Strike game, for example. There's 3 or 4 Counter-Strikes, disincluding
Condition Zero.
Condition Zero, because Condition Zero is just campaign, and it's just a little crappy knockoff of Source. So, that's 3 or 4, but also Counter-Strike's been around since the 1990s, I believe. And
I think so.
Having 4 games, and you got to give it to Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike stuck to Counter-Strike alongside.
But that's also the problem.
With it being a great game. It is a great game.
It is a great game, But each new edition's more of a high-def remake of it.
Yeah.
Except for Source. Source was kind of different.
Well, Source was new, which was, and I believe what the next thing they'll do is they'll either, redo Source, or what they'll redo is, something else. But, I mean, you just look at it, Call of Duty is going down the drain. You know that because they release a new game every year.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Yeah.
Because it's what the consumer wants. I mean, it really is what the consumer wants. But if they, let's say Infinity Ward was like, you know what, we're not going to do a game this year. We're going to take 2 or 3 years to make this game. I believe that Call of Duty would be better. I believe that it would be, just better. I mean, it's going down the hills. Ghosts, you have no idea yet. I mean, Ghosts is either going to be a decent game, the players are going to make it crappy, or the players are going to make it crappy, and it's going to be a crappy game. Because the players always make it crappy. I mean, you can hide, you can go in between walls and all that crap. But I do believe that what they need to do is get it at an 85 to 90%, and say, you know what, we throw it out, okay, we sell it, it's at an 85, 90%, people start responding saying, hey, this is broken, alright, we fix this, 91, 92, 93, 94, 100, 110, we start adding stuff on that wasn't even thought of. You know what I mean? Because they're not going to figure out every bug.
No, they're not. Definitely.
Exactly, and that's why being an 85, 90% completion of the game is going to be their best option.
Mm-hmm. Well, the fact that you speak of Call of Duty, that brings me to the next series and the debate topic. Pretty much earlier, I posted on Facebook as well, which some of you saw, an article which I found interesting. And that is, do gamers really care about the games? And the only reason that I say this, and I found it interesting, and I found truth in this, is the fact that people have become more politically interested in the consoles rather than the games. They choose one side, like Sony, over Microsoft. And this next gen, how people dished Xbox One. Once one person did it, a lot more started doing it, and then a lot more.
If you guys ever watch, I recommend this because I'm an unbiased person when it comes to this. Sorry, I'm an unbiased person. I believe that you guys should go watch, my series because it breaks down the essentials and also adds on. But pretty much, the biggest thing that I yell about in that is that one person, like he said, was like, Xbox One sucks. And it was like a virus. Everyone's just like, this, and this.
And it became a political matter where people are like,
exactly.
Well, if you go for Xbox One, you suck, or whatever, like Democrats and Republicans. I mean, it became less about the games and more about which console the mass likes. And I mean, Microsoft tried to please everyone that was dishing them, They took off cloud. They made it so that they could play games offline because people were dishing that. They're saying, oh, cloud? That's a ridiculous idea. What did Microsoft do? They took off cloud. And then, they said they were going to do Kinect, or there was rumors that they were going to take out Kinect and make it not required.
It is. It isn't required anymore.
Okay. Because of people, saying that.
And see, this is the awesome thing about it, is me, I honestly do like the Xbox more than the PS3, or Xbox 360, or Sony over...
Whatever.
Because that's my opinion. But am I going to go around saying Microsoft is better than Sony? No, I'm not, because they're both awesome consoles. I mean, PS3 you had it was a great console. I mean, all around awesome graphics. It had better graphics than the 360. I'll be honest, it really did. That was the one thing about it.
Interesting games. Because
exactly.
Mostly Microsoft came out with first-person shooters, and eventually that became so redundant where I would just want to do something.
I mean, you had Drake's Island. You have awesome games for the PS3, and I respect Sony for that. But what Sony did is they're like, we have a finished product. This is what we're doing, and this is what Microsoft isn't doing. Okay? And does that sound right?
Yes.
This is what we're doing. And then Microsoft's like, we have this, but we're willing to change. And Microsoft would change this, changes. It's changed bad. No, because they're like, hey guys, we're giving you this.
Mm-hmm.
And people were like, this is final, because Sony brought out a final product. This is what it's doing, this is what it's going to be, this is what's going to be inside of it. And, Microsoft came out and said, this is our console, this is what's going to be inside of it, this is the release. A lot of people were all like, oh, well, they're opening, what do you call it, their reveal was all about TV and how you can watch TV, and I'm like, well, Sony wasn't much different.
Mm-hmm. No, Sony wasn't much different.
To be honest, I wasn't impressed by either of the reveals. I was not impressed with. Well, I was not as impressed with Sony's E3 conference as well as I was impressed with Microsoft. Microsoft came out banging and we're like, we got, I believe it's 12 or 8 in between there somewhere. And they're like, we got 12 brand new franchises creating AAA titles. That is unbelievable. And Sony is going the same way. But I don't think, when you compare the two, I believe that it was kind of a debate back and forth. But I do believe that Microsoft ended up taking, we have more exclusives.
Mm-hmm. Well, some of them are a little iffy because they were third parties on the Sony, and the Sony didn't release them as, for sure launch dates. So some of those games are a little iffy. But, I mean, if you look at the console specs themselves, neither console is really that much different from the other.
No.
They're pretty much the same thing, different brand name, different look, pretty much.
Exactly. And this is the thing about it, is they're both going to bring us different things. But like I always say, we're talking about next generation. Who really brought to the table next generation gaming? In my opinion, Microsoft did with the cloud. Was it too early of a move?
No.
Yes, it was. It's not too early of a move, but people don't see past. They like the physical disc. That's what got people. Is like, oh, well, you always have to be online now. Well, I'm not going to buy it anymore. But people didn't look past that. People didn't see, you know what? We're looking at a next generation console. You got to do something different. Mm-hmm. Not only, you add on 500 gigs, that's new. You add on 8 gigs of RAM, that's new. You add a new 8-core CPU, that's new. But it's not all about that. You got to say to yourself, what's making these consoles different from the ones that I currently own? Besides the fact that, it's gonna have more. It's gonna have more player interaction. Mm-hmm. It's gonna be able to do these things. The cloud is awesome on both sides. I believe that you being able to turn your Xbox off, okay, leave your Xbox off, and you're getting gamer score or you're getting rep for your guy. Even though I'm not big into that, I'll be honest. I could care less if I was the worst Forza racer in the world. But it's cool. It's new, and that's what excites me. Is like, this is cool. I've never seen this before.
Well, here's the thing about the cloud, though. I mean, we're already using the cloud. I don't know why people are so freaking out, which is why I don't think it's too early of a move. We're already using it.
Exactly.
On computers, heck, what do you think these go off of? Yeah. I mean, yeah, there's an SD chip in here, but some of these actually go off the cloud as well, including some of the Windows.
Like, you're talking MediaFire, Gamefront. That's all storing.
Even Minecraft servers go off the cloud. I mean, they're not on your computer, guys. You gotta realize that.
And people are like, oh, well, Microsoft won't be able to keep the uptime going. Mm-hmm.
It doesn't even vanish. I mean, once it goes off, it's not like all that just.
But no. Here's what I'm going to say about that. Is, guys, I'm not big into networking, but I know more than I want to know about it, and servers and things like that. A website, we're going to take Microsoft's website. You know how much that website is down in a year? Or they get money for it? Yes. In a year. 1 year. How much downtime their website has in that complete year?
Probably not much.
How much?
I would say at least a day, maybe.
A minute.
A minute.
That server in 1 year, by average contract, we're saying by an average contract, goes down a minute. If it goes down more than that, Microsoft starts getting money on contract. Okay. Not saying that's it. It could be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, however much they deal out. But now, you take a look at that, and you take a look at 300,000 servers for a cloud. One goes down. The next one picks it up. I mean, you really think they're going to be using 300,000 servers? I guarantee you 10,000 those, 10,000, I would say at least between 20 and 10,000 of those are going to be redundant servers. So, that if one fails, that one picks it up. Mm-hmm. If they're like, oh crap, let's say, we have this, and this running on this server, we'll throw it over this one. It's as simple as that. It will never go down. Unless, Seattle goes down in a complete blackout.
Well, yeah. I mean,
you can't, Sony will go down too, though. Everything's there. But, I'm just saying.
Even Marketplace really is awful live. I was just listening to his teeth earlier, and
Marketplace is actually looking at a resale. Mm-hmm. Online Marketplace resale, which is awesome because I'm lazy. Don't like getting out of my house. Very lazy, and for me to be able to just stay home and download a game instead of wait an hour at GameStop, I've already got the game, and I didn't have to leave my house.
Yeah.
Well, so that's the awesome thing about this.
I'm sure the console has some sort of hard drive, though. I'm sure there's...
The console has a 500 gig hard drive.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm sure because there's still the software itself that has to be stored somewhere on the server to run.
There's a 500 gig. Mm-hmm. The reason that they're doing the cloud is because you have all your saves on that. Mm-hmm. Saves. Your game's running. That's how the game runs, is on the cloud. And it sucks, and I know that people hate it, and they're like, oh, well... I do believe that a lot of people actually look past the whole, what am I thinking of, the whole PSN thing. Mm. Because people are like, oh, Xbox Live, you have to pay for it. Well, PSN is now going to $60 a year as well. So I believe that a lot of people look past a lot of these things, and that's why the huge console war started, was because one person, it's just spread. People, it's like a stereotype. One person said it, and then everyone's like, oh, well, You ask one of those people, that do end up getting themselves in a stupid console war. You actually ask them, because I did. Like, I asked someone, I was like, why do you believe this? And they're like, oh, well, all this. I'm like, you realize this changed, and I brought down the facts. But you really do ask someone, and that's not as educated and doesn't take time to actually look into these things. They're just like, I want this because it's Sony, mm-hmm. because it's Microsoft. You're looking at blowing $400 to $500 to $700 to $800. You got to do a little bit of research on what you're gonna do. It's like buying a new computer. It really is.
Which that even requires more research.
Yeah, it just requires research, and you can't just go around and buy a console simply because of the fact that it says, or people say, Xbox One sucks. That's what everyone's saying. That's what I'm going to go with. PS4 it is. But I love Halo. I love Gears of War. But you know what? Everyone's saying that Xbox One sucks. It was a really crappy thing, and I think that it's starting to die down, which is good, because everyone's realizing that, Microsoft did what everyone wanted them to do. They listened to what people wanted. You can't look at it like, I don't believe that they thought this at first, but I believe that what they did was correct by revealing this. This is what we have. I don't believe they were saying, tell us how to make this better. I believe that people went to them, and it was a community thing saying, this needs to change, this needs to change, and this needs to change. And Microsoft was like, okay, we realize that. That we realize that this needs to change. We realize that this needs to change.
Reminds me of Bungie.
Yeah.
Bungie listened to their community as well, and they made changes according to that.
Exactly, and that's the awesome thing, because, and you know what, to be honest, this whole ordeal actually did give Microsoft more publicity, and gave the Xbox One more publicity, and people were like, well, what's happening with this? Because I know, me being an always researching things, you look through IGN, you see a lot more Xbox One stuff than you do PS4 stuff.
Well, they've always been more Xbox.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Some of those sites are a little more biased than others.
Yes.
But you know what? I don't mind. Because that's why there's multiple sites. They'll give you some more good information about a particular console than others.
Exactly. Alright, well, I guess we kind of lost track of DayZ. But we're both excited, so we're going to kind of end it off by giving you guys some facts for the next minute, 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But really quick, just like bam, 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 bam.
So, pretty much I learned that Amazon's making a new console. This is like the second rumor.
An Android console, right?
I think so.
Probably.
I'm not certain.
All right. My turn? My turn?
Mm-hmm.
GTA 5 coming out September 17th. Will be in my Xbox. Super excited, super big, super fun. It's going to be a great game. Everyone's looking forward to it. Will it come out for Xbox One? Who knows? It will be a good thing to discuss next time. There's mine.
I heard that the 2DS is gonna invent the Wii U in some way. Yeah, I was like reading by it, and I just saw a headline. I didn't really go into it. I just saw that. I was like, that sounds interesting. A 2DS is gonna like pretty much reinvent the wheel of what is Wii U.
That's interesting. One thing that I saw that was cool was, if you guys don't know that we play PC and we use Steam frequently, Steam came with trading cards, and one thing that I didn't notice was IGN said that these trading cards should put Microsoft and Sony to shame, because you do get such a good deal by collecting these or trading them off. You get deals off games, and you get deals off these. So really interesting fact about that.
I forgot about that fact. Pretty much I saw leaked gameplay footage of Titanfall. It seemed really interesting.
Yeah, Titanfall's going to be a great game.
But it was
a
a whole
console
entire...
seller.
I know. It revealed the whole entire introduction video when he was at PAX. He was like looking over on a video camera, and it was the introduction video. And I got to you would see the classes of not only the soldiers, but as Titans as well. There's 3 for each in the demo. And apparently this campaign is multiplayer. As people know, it's campaign multiplayer. In other words, both sides are both humans. Not one side's human, one side's completely AI. No, it's mixed both on both sides.
Yeah, that's why this is going to be so interesting, and that's why I'm so excited for next generation. I mean, you got things like that coming.
I know. That is so awesome, especially with Destiny and the Division.
I have one cool thing with Destiny. Destiny said, or Bungie said that they believe that Destiny is going to get bigger than Halo.
That would be awesome.
And that's Bungie made Halo huge. They made it huge. And Destiny, they believe that Destiny's going to be bigger. Halo, we're going to be looking at a good game from them.
Pretty much, Halo defined first-person shooters. It didn't create the genre, it just defined it because it was the most recognized game for it. Mm-hmm. And so now Destiny will be another thing to define the next genre for the next generation, I believe.
Yep.
I mean, I already knew that once Bungie said they were working on another game. It was like, oh, I bet that game is going to define the next genre over the next decade, like Halo did.
Yeah, that's... So, guys, that's pretty much about all we got.
I also want to thank you guys personally. Take this moment to talk personally to you guys. We looked at the video views, and we saw that they went up. And I can't thank you enough, guys. I mean, that's awesome. You guys are freaking awesome for just even watching the video. We thank you so much for it.
Yeah, and we really hope that you guys do like us talking. One thing that we really like, and we've actually had a few people come up to us and say, you know what, we're here and we're willing to make you better. And you know what, that even though, I know that they don't really watch our videos, but really it just us, people coming up to us and saying, you know what, I'm here and I'm willing to, help you, do better. It's really awesome. As you guys heard me say, you probably heard him say, but, one thing we do want to do is always stay really close with our fans, and we always just we don't want to do this really just for self-entertainment. We don't want to do this, for money. We don't want to do this to get big. We want to do it, one, because it's really is fun. Just to make games.
Especially hardcore mode.
Hardcore
mode is the most ridiculous thing.
And it's just really fun, especially, and it's sad because, we get people and then, they ditch on us, or, they say one thing, and it sucks because we really like playing with people. I mean, that's the basis of why we started this, was to play with more people. And, we just want to thank you guys, really, even if you just watch our videos, We don't expect you to watch every video. We don't expect you to comment every video. We don't expect you to like every video or even like one. If you just watch and you guys are like, hey, this is good, I'm gonna keep on watching. We do thank you very much, and we thank you if you do like the videos and you do subscribe, or do those things,
or even go on to our Facebook page and like it, or just look at the comments. I mean, that's just awesome, guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's awesome, and it's a great feeling to know that we know with enough hard work, and we know with if we just keep on letting you guys know that you're the center of all this, and letting you guys keep showing you guys the truth, keep doing funny videos, keep doing what we're doing, just having fun, uploading on a daily schedule as always, but doing what we want to upload. And that's the greatest thing, is that we upload what we want to upload. We upload because it's fun. We like doing hardcore mode because we know we're gonna go have a good time in hardcore mode.
Jeez. Which, expect a new episode very soon of it.
Yep.
Also, the new, as he said, Minecraft. I'm going to emphasize that just a little bit. Yes, there is going to be a Minecraft series. No, it's not going to be just a Let's Play series like most people do. This is going to be a Let's Play / machinima. It's going to be a hybrid of both, really, where the story evolves around how all the characters play around it. So that will be very interesting. Even I'm excited to see how that plays out, because I don't even know how the story's going to end or how the story will even go.
It's like we go and, things aren't determined.
But we do need people.
Yeah.
We do need people. So if you're willing to participate in any of our videos or want to, you can post, comment, subscribe, or not subscribe, sorry. Post, comment, or email us at yalegamerspub@gmail.com.
Yep, it's just a channel name. Probably the easiest thing to do is just go on our main channel, hit about. That's how you get to the send messages now. Just hit that about, and
on the bottom there'll be a send message.
Yep.
Just shoot us a message if you want, and we'll be more than happy. I need 4 more slots for the actor/players for Minecraft, and then some people to help with making the map, because these buildings are be difficult to do alone, because I'm gonna be blowing so much holes in the freaking under the surface. So, but anyways, guys, we thank you so much. Be sure to comment, like, and subscribe, please,
if you guys like what you're seeing.
And if you want to help the channel grow, please tell a friend.
Yeah, definitely tell your friend, your neighbor, your grandpa, your grandma,
anybody. Doesn't matter. But I think that'll be all.
Yeah, I think we had a good video. We had a good all gaming, and I think it's a little bit longer, obviously, than last time.
Well, just because of the personal message at the end, it's very important that
we do get that out, and we get those out frequently, because we just can't ever say it enough, honestly. So,
especially over text. I mean, when we just post it, we can't really show our feelings, show how much we actually thank you guys so much for this.
Yeah. Alright, guys. I'm going to end it here. Remember, it's not a game without the gamers.
And until next time, we will see you out there in the gaming world!